Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Kyle Henderson of BamaInsider.com. Today, I'm providing a first look at the running backs, and we have to start out with Najee Harris, 6'2", 235 pounds. Hard to believe that he's returning for this season, right? Last season as a junior, 1,200 yards with 20 touchdowns. 7 of those touchdowns were actually receiving touchdowns, so you really started to see Najee Harris being utilized as a receiver out of the backfield, and I think that's one of those attributes that Najee Harris certainly has, and certainly what makes him one of the best running backs in college football. And also add on to the fact that this guy is a vocal leader of this team in 2020. As you know, Alabama is stacked at the running back position. You got Brian Robinson, also a senior, 6'1", 228 pounds. And we're still waiting for a true breakout season for Brian Robinson. And I'm curious to see how he is utilized in Steve Sarkisian's offense last year. Nearly 500 yards with 5 touchdowns. And I think a guy that Steve Sarkisian can certainly depend on. You look at the fact that he's a senior. He knows the offense in and out. And think about this. The NCAA just passed a blanket waiver rule, meaning that every single player could return back for the 2021 season. So Brian Robinson, he could come back if he wanted to. Moving on to Trey Sanders, redshirt freshman, 6 foot, 214 pounds, came into Alabama as a 5-star, and our sources have told us that he has looked like a 5-star at practice. He had that foot injury during the 2019 season, which was unfortunate, but this guy's an all-purpose player. I think just in time, you're going to get to see him on the field. Without question, you're going to see him in the 2020 season. He's going to get his opportunities. Can't wait to see what Trey Sanders can do. Now, we recently got a chance to speak with Nick Saban. I asked him about the running backs. Here's what Saban had to say with an emphasis on Najee Harris and Brian Robinson.
Yeah, those two guys have done great. They've really worked hard. They've had great camps so far. Trey Sanders has done extremely well. The young guys have done really, really well. I see them all contributing. And I think those guys can all have a role on our team. That's an area of our team that I really like, the depth. I like the experience that we have with 2 seniors. And then there's some young guys that have some, really, really good ability to contribute, and these guys are all really good special teams players. And I think when you have depth at linebacker, running back, tight end, skill positions, wide receiver, DB, that really helps on special teams, because those guys take up a lot of roles, on special teams. And I think these guys are going to make a real contribution in all those areas as well.
Now, I know you're thinking, where is Killen Robinson? Why haven't you talked about Killen Robinson? Why haven't you shown him in the practice highlights? Look, we can't report on what we don't know. And the truth is, we don't know what's going on with Killen Robinson. And everything from COVID to opting out, that is all going to be kept within Alabama internally. Nick Saban said when a player is ready to make an announcement or release that type of information, then that player will be free to do that. But right now, all that information will be kept internal. So out of the respect for Killen Robinson, we're going to do just that. Here's Nick Saban talking about players opting out and privacy issues.
Like I said, we're not going to, we're going to keep all those issues internal to our team. The players have asked me to do that, and I agree with them. That's what I meant by the privacy laws of what we have to do to protect guys, in college football. So, if and when a player's ready to make an announcement about that, we'll give it to you, and that'll be his prerogative to do that.
We also recently had an opportunity to talk to Alabama offensive coordinator Steve Sarkisian about his running back group. Here's Sarkisian talking about the very talented Alabama running back room.
Well, I think last year was probably one of the first times around here where we leaned so much on one back the way we leaned on Najee, especially kind of the last 2/3 of the season. I think ideally we would like to have a little bit more rotation so that Najee is maybe a little bit more fresh into the second half. We always felt like, man, it's been how many ever carries, and we like to throw the ball to the back, and so it's not always the carries, it's the catches too. So I think there is a fine line in finding that rhythm for kind of your lead runner, but also your complementary backs. Whether it's the third series of the game and giving them the series, or special situations, maybe third down, where a certain guy can go in and utilize his talents. But there definitely is a rhythm for the lead runner, but there's also a rhythm for the complementary backs. And, with Brian Robinson, Trey Sanders, some of our younger players that have really shown me some stuff here in the first couple of days. We're obviously very fortunate to have Najee come back for a senior season, but the experience Brian Robinson brings, the explosiveness Trey brings, and then when you start talking about Roydell, Jace, and Kyle Edwards, we've got a pretty good stable of backs, all a little bit different. And so our job is to find the things that those guys do well, and then when it is their turn to go in the game, to make sure we're putting them in position to have some success.
Okay, so I'm going to get your take in the comment box. What do you think about Alabama's running back room going into the 2020 season? Do you feel it's one of the best running back rooms that Alabama has had in quite some time, with Najee Harris returning and Brian Robinson both bringing back so much experience? And how excited are you to see freshman running back Trey Sanders enter his first year on the field? Talk about some of those other running backs as well. Jace McClellan, Kyle Edwards, Roydell Williams. Those guys are certainly making noise as we inch closer to the month of September. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to hit the thumbs up button and please subscribe as we make a push towards 50,000 subscribers right here on our YouTube channel. My name is Kyle Henderson of BamaInsider.com. Thanks for following all our coverage as we push closer to the 2020 college football season. Reporting from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, this is Kyle Henderson of BamaInsider.com.